Well, it's been a while. Got a small project I want to handle, and I think I'll give you a little sneak peek about how the car looks right now. So, ta-da! No, that's it. That's all you get. All right, just a little more. Just a little more. Huh. All right, that's it. That's it. Not ready to do the full reveal. Not ready. Not ready. Can't see it. But today we're gonna sort out. I'm gonna sort out some stuff. These taillights got some problems here. Something's leaking. Can't figure it out, but they're pulling with water, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I'm gonna pull the taillights off, try to reseal them, and see why this might be happening. So that's where we're at. Stay tuned. So it's a bit of a dungeon back here, but got it all lit up so you can see. So I think there's five studs on the back of the tail light. I got nuts that go through them. So I'm going to take this off here, try to mark which bulbs go to which side so I don't lose it, so I don't mix that up, and then take the tail light off and see what we see. So no wonder my tail lights are leaking. There's no sealant. See, it's been painted clearly, but no one at the body shop decided to apply any sealant. So yeah, I wonder what was going to happen. Some moss. It looks like rust at first shot, but no, it's moss. So yep, took off the center garnish, took off right hand side tail light. Gotta take off the left hand one now. Gonna go clean them up, dry them out upstairs, and then seal them properly. Jesus H Christ. So I let this sit overnight to air dry. As you can see, hasn't done a great job of doing that, but most of the water is actually out from the inside, so that's cool. Just a little residue, little condensation still left. But yeah, I see some water residue on this lower surface, so that leads me to believe that the water was leaking from here from the top. There was no sealant on this one either, which is hilarious. Thanks to my body shop, lovely guys. So there's no sealant. Water probably leaked from the top and then rolled onto this edge and just slipped basically down through here, because this is all unsealed on the bottom panel. So if I don't create a really robust seal on the top, it's going to fill with water at the bottom, which is pretty simple. So I'm going to clean this one up too, and then we're going to roll some sealant on there. Okay, here we are next day. I've been letting the taillights dry out because they had so much water inside of them. This is the left hand side taillight. I've been letting it dry, cleaned up the whole inside here, and I actually removed the sealant strip that was in there. There's a bunch of butyl that was already on it, so I took that out. They're pretty clean now, which is good. So I'm going to apply some new sealant. Let me go check out the other one and see how the drying's gone. So let's get to it. Here's the sealant I'm going to use. Bought it off Amazon. Butyl windscreen sealant. It's the same stuff for taillights. This is a horrible design by Nissan. Absolutely horrible. It's got to be one of the worst in automotive history. And they changed it on the 34 to actually close up this entire aperture that's created in the back panel of the GTR. So that's totally closed up, and there's only a single hole, basically dead center. And then the taillight actually sits on the outside of the vehicle, so there's no real chance of it leaking. It's like a fully sealed unit. So that's why you don't have this problem on 34s, but because I have a 33, you get this shit. So I'm gonna continue a little cleaning here, and then we're gonna lay some butyl, but let's go check out the other one. Well, I cleaned up both sides as good as they're gonna get right now. There's a little more condensation in this taillight lens, the blinker. Can't seem to get it out. Don't really care at the moment because it's mostly dry. There's no actual pooled water, so that's cool. So I'm going to start the sealant process using this stuff. Let's see how it goes. At first glance, this is some really nice stuff actually. Nice large bead. It's got the taping back, so I can apply it without getting all over my fingers, and then just remove the tape at the last moment before I put these back on the car. So hopefully this goes pretty well. Let me get started. All right, so we have applied the sealant. Look at it. Dun, dun, dun. So I've laid a single bead. I thought about doubling it up. I guess we're gonna see how it goes. If I'm honest, I don't really want to double up the sealant. It's supposed to just take a single bead. And it's a pretty hefty bead too, so I tried not to stretch it out because I need as much cross section as possible. That's what's gonna keep the water out in this situation. There's one part of the design of this that I'm not really thrilled about. And if you look here at these two center studs, there's one here and there's one there. On the lower side, the bead is clearly about twice the thickness of the stud boss mount, basically the bottom plastic piece. But in the top, you could see that the stud, the boss where the stud mounts to, is actually just about the same height as the bead. So my worry is after I torque this down, you know, relatively lightly, it's the bead's actually not going to seal in that top center location. It'll seal around the corner and all that kind of stuff. My hypothesis on how these things have actually started pulling with water is I believe the leaks come from the top, because the water rushes down from the boot lid, and then it basically slips past this seam right here, and the water was pooling right there. So I had a lot of dried water, that kind of residue, soapy residue too, from washing right in there, and that's where it basically enters the lower portion of the light. So I think we might have a solution here. Let's give it a whirl. Put him back on the car and see how we do. Downstairs we go with our sealed up tail lights. Let's go put these back in, see how they look. The whole garage is flooded. Not fun. We're back. That's enough. So I took some time to clean up the sealing surface, just to make sure, give myself the best chance possible of sealing in here. Got that all cleaned up. So I'm gonna put on right hand tail light first. We'll do the left hand, and then finally the center garnish, which is still stuck with the trunk there. So I wish I had better lighting to show you guys, but I think I'm gonna get a LED battery powered light, so I can kind of like show more what's going on here in the future if I do small videos. So let's do it. So yeah, with the new sealant installed, it really does change the depth of the taillight into its socket basically. So now I have to use those 5 bolts to to really pull it down into the right spot. So let's do that. All right, we're all back together now, which is good. The one thing I wanted to make sure that worked was the hazards. One, two. This kind of sucks, but the outermost stud on this taillight snapped off. But upon closer examination, looks like someone broke it when they were reinstalling it and then tried to goop it on there. So I'm gonna have to look for another taillight housing for that. This is definitely a slowly but surely situation here. You know, got the taillights on, got them sealed up. Hopefully, bought brand new hardware from the hardware store. You can kind of see here. Got some rubber washers, then I got some steel fender washers, and then stainless steel locking hex nuts. So hopefully that's a lot better than what we had on there. Cleaned up the trunk, as you can see, it's been painted, leaving it bare. Kind of like it that way. And yeah, on to the next project. Don't worry, my car's lit in the oven. So until then, see you guys.